Hey, and welcome back to another Beef and Clown stream. We are starting out. I'm just going to start solo this evening, hoping to pick up another host here shortly. Unfortunately, an emergency popped up for Satanic Beef. Hopefully, that will all resolve itself and all will be good. But in the meantime, there's been a slight change of plans beyond that, which in much easier, lighter news, I was going to do some 3D sculpting today on the stream for my homework, but ultimately I finished that 3D sculpting. It was the first time I ever did any 3D sculpting. So doing it on stream would have been very, well, it would have been a lot. Um, but I did my assignment, and so I've decided, in honor of the newly announced Monkey Island game, which Ron Gilbert is going to be writing or working on. I'm not sure, maybe both, probably both. Uh, I'm going to do some Guybrush Threepwood fan art. Maybe draw a fan art of Guybrush that hasn't ever been drawn before. So we're going to start off with the meme of the day. I pulled this one from our D&D memes on Reddit. This is definitely very relatable for a lot of trans and non-binary people. Me playing both male and female characters leads to a domino effect of realizing that maybe I'm not cisgender. Maybe, just maybe, I'm a little bit more free with my gender than I had initially suspected. Maybe. Maybe. It's a thought. There's something to consider. Perhaps. But sometimes you just, like to play whatever class or race because what you like in D&D is the characters, and that's totally fine. We're going to start off here with a line of action. I've got a pretty strong pose here, I think. Just trying to figure out how this line of action kind of works. That's technically 3 lines. It doesn't show up super duper well against this background. I might, that's fine. I'll use that. I'm kind of looking at where my reference has their head. They're kind of looking up this way. Like this. Their shoulders are much lower because their head is actually... This line is too low, that's why. Because their shoulders are like up here. And we've got one arm that's out this way. And I'm sort of... This is definitely a very action-y Guybrush. This is not Guybrush at his goofiest. If you've never played any of the Monkey Island games, they kick off with The Secret of Monkey Island, the special edition of which came out in, I think, 2009. And it's quite good. Highly recommend. The first 2 games featured the writing of Ron Gilbert. They were foundational for a lot of story-based game developers in the early 90s. Actually, I don't remember when the first one came out. Also, that is a very weird position for that. But I will take it. Got sort of a blade coming up. I'm gonna need to adjust this guy. Let's adjust him down a bit. I'm not worried about adjusting him down because, as we'll sort of see, he's kind of in a low squatting pose, actually. Because we've got, like, his hips are kind of doing... We've got, like, a foreshortened leg here. This one actually comes down further in our view than the other one. Also, your big toes on that side. Fortunately, this guy that I'm looking at is wearing, he's wearing jeans. Makes it kind of hard to tell. Where exactly he is. Feet are difficult. Let no one tell you they're not. Because there's a lot of things going on in a foot. I think this is generally the right shape. It looks very odd right now. Because he's kind of got this... The thing is, his chest is this way, so he's got like more of a twist going on. Where his chest is even... sticking out. I feel like I've just made too many fucking lines now. That is something that I struggle with, is when I feel like I've made too many lines, that's when I want to start deleting stuff. Because that's when I start looking at it and thinking, I can't tell what the hell I'm drawing here. So his neck is sort of like this. The nice thing about Guybrush, of course, is that he's scrawny. So this guy that I'm drawing from, who's kind of not scrawny, he's kind of, I mean, he's not, yeah, he's not scrawny. Gonna be a good reference, but not perfect. That gives me a lot of room to interpret. And then also, the thing is, I want to make this Guybrush, but I want to play with the costuming a bit. Maybe do some conceptual work for Guybrush. We haven't seen Guybrush for the new game, so I gotta make him look however I want. And it's not wrong. Just doing a bit of communicating with Beef, making sure everything's good. Oh no, I lost my pins on Pinterest. I don't think I saved one of those. maybe, I wonder, was it in my, this is why I should have saved it to my reference instead of just keeping it open in a Pinterest tab. I use Pinterest a lot for my references because they're super handy. It's got an aggregate of images. It's not the best at crediting, but as long as I'm not doing a direct copy, I'm not usually worried about that for reference, especially because a lot of what I'm doing is referencing individual parts or poses. And not a specific not a whole drawing, I guess. That's what I would say. Oh man, I saw this really rad, like piratey coat that I wanted to use, and now I'm not finding it, and that kind of makes me sad. But I got a blue screen of death shortly before the stream. I was taxing my video card too hard, and it died, as happens. So I didn't have all my work saved, and now I'm paying for it. I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be neat to do like an anime version of Guybrush? But I'm not sold on that. So I guess I'm just gonna have to go sort of based on memory and then these other awesome Guybrush references that I have. So I think the epitome of Guybrush Threepwood's look has got to be Monkey Island 2, and I like to think most Monkey Island fans would agree with that, but I don't know for sure. If you're a Monkey Island fan and you have an opinion on which Guybrush look is the best, sound off in the chat and let me know what you think. What do you think is the best Guybrush look? Is it there's been so many Monkey Island games. I personally am just always going to be a fan of Monkey Island. The Secret of Monkey Island, the first one. I wasn't even so much of a fan of the second one, but I will definitely say that as games went, Guybrush's design was really good because I really like that. That big coat that he's got, and he's got the goatee. And that little ponytail. I mean, he had the ponytail in the first one, but his ponytail had grown, of course. So it really worked for him. But I did think that the narrative device of Guybrush retelling the story to Elaine as he hangs in a pit is really funny. it also had like a facial hair reference open so that I could mess around with that, but that's all right. The thing that I had noticed that I had really liked about that particular coat was that it had like a popped collar on one side. This sort of epic kind of was definitely like flat on this side. Or, well, it was flat on one side and then popped on the other, which I thought was pretty cool, obviously, because I'm trying to recreate it here. I made choices. Are they good choices? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. The nice thing about doing these red layers is that means if I mess up, I can always go back and do it again. Not that I couldn't do that without the red layers, just the red layers sort of make it a bit easier. He's looking a bit like Johnny Depp right now. I think this hair needs to come up a bit further off the top of his head. That's better. We'll give our lads some hair. He's got these big, nice bell cuffs on his jacket. When he wears a jacket. He does not always wear a jacket. I think one of the things I constantly find myself asking whenever I draw like a dude is how do jackets work? Got like another collar in here, and that's his shirt collar. Thing is, oh man. I'm not really sure what kind of oh, I should look up how that's supposed to look. How to jacket. Because that's coming off this way. Kind of like that. Guybrush is selling these fine leather jackets. And he usually wears like buckled shoes like this, or at least he did in Monkey Island 1. We're going for a custom look, so something halfway between Monkey Islands 1 and 2 would be fine with me, I think. had these nice thick brim on his jacket with big brass buckles or buttons. I'm not sure what they were for except being shiny on his coat. How do those pants wrinkle there? Kind of just like that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I can get behind this. I guess I would say it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever drawn, right? Right now it's looking a little bit like Johnny Depp, and it's this line right here that gives him that pencil mustache. It's not meant to. Guybrush Threepwood, if you're not familiar with this character, is nothing at all like Jack Sparrow. Thank goodness. For one, Jack Sparrow is actually pretty suave most of the time. I mean, he could be awkward. We could all be awkward. Nothing wrong with being awkward. Oh, that coat is... I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way that it's wrapping around his body. I like this, but I think it very much... Well, I don't like that. I think it does need to sort of be wrapping around like that. And then we can put these shiny bangles on. So it's got kind of a this going on the shirt. See, I captured that pelvis wrong because it's more like this. And then he's got comes along like that and is foreshortened. One of the things that I've sort of been hearing, because I look up these, sometimes they'll come on my YouTube channel, my YouTube recommendations, and they'll say things like, how to improve your habits and stuff like that. And that stuff is important to me. I want to improve my habits. I want to improve myself. And one of the things that I've been seeing, one of the things that I heard today was kind of interesting to me. It was saying like, don't use goals to define yourself. So like for me, I often say like, oh, I'm an aspiring artist, but like really what I am is I am an artist. I'm here on this stream doing the art right now. If this is not what one of the things that you do as an artist, what do artists do? And, not every artist does this, obviously. And I don't know that this particular path will lead me to success in my field or anything, but it is certainly the path that I am working on at the moment. And so if you're in that sort of space, I encourage you to be honest with yourself. Are you doing the art? If you're doing the art, it doesn't matter if it's, if you think it's good art or bad art. If you're doing the art, you're doing art. You're an artist. That's it. And then at that point, you just keep practicing until you're happy with it. Find those things that you want to do to make yourself better at your craft. And it's not, straightforward. It's very time consuming. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take many hours and dedication. And you've got to do what helps you to learn as well. Like for me, watching those videos does help. And I'm hoping that if you're listening to me and taking any of what I'm saying to heart, then, listening to this helps too. Oh, I did not capture that neck at all. That's better. Now we're getting a bit Guybrushy in here. Fighting like dairy farmers. Or perhaps cows. I'm really unhappy with this groin. I've got to figure this out. I think ultimately what I need to do is come in here on another layer and sort of define where the fucking pelvis is. Which means I should look up a good reference for what that looks like. So we've kind of got a little bit of this butterfly thing going on. Because we got this leg coming like this. Comes in here, because here's our spine. There's that lumbar. Got some weird stuff going on this spine here. This spine is not bending naturally. That's probably why he looks so fucky. I think part of the problem is, too, I'm trying to interpret a bend here that sort of actually bends like this. So actually it does bend like it's supposed to, because this actually comes at a different angle. And then that's sort of our tailbone right there in between them. Is that just that leg is in the wrong place. It could be that that leg is in the wrong place based on where the hips are. It's it's a little bit hard to tell because the thing is that leg is not foreshortened. And actually, one of the things that I'm seeing in the picture is that it kind of lines up with this elbow back here, which means for one, this is too long, which is what I'm seeing now. This is more foreshortened, so this is a lot more like this. It's important to make these notes because then you can sort of tell where you need to improve. And once we can figure out what that basic anatomy looks like, eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to do this kind of thing without coming back and saying, where is this? Another thing that I'm noticing, and this actually looks like it's pretty much at the right place, is that the bottom of this foot is lined up pretty close with this ankle. So that's good. This actually is a little further to the right. Also, that probably doesn't have to be as wide, but the point is it's much shorter because it's foreshortened. What about you? You're actually pretty close to correct. You could probably come in a little bit. Okay. Let's make that a little bit darker, and then we'll start on a new layer. I'm going to start doing a black layer now. It's quiet tonight in the chat. I know it's harder to react when Beef isn't around. Beef is okay. He's going to be all right. He is looking after a family member, and that is extremely important. Look at how much better those hips work. Oh yeah. That was it. I'm still not sure about this jacket. Definitely those hips needed to be fixed. I think actually I'm going to go to this layer and I'm going to grab, shit. Ah. Grab this and move it. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I can live with that. let's grab this too. This one's a little bit different because I've got to... Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to rearrange that entirely. That's fine. Sometimes that's what happens. Whoop. Always try to draw on the correct layer, or you're going to have a bad time. I think it's okay to exaggerate Guybrush's hair here. His hair is a little redonkulous anyway. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm happy with that line. I'm still doing extremely rough line work right now, even though I'm working with black. The big thing right now for me is I want to capture the shape a little bit darker, a little bit clearer. Depending on how I feel, I might even end up drawing a Ghost Pirate LeChuck. It really depends on how I feel. I might just go for a basic render of this one. Rendering is definitely a weak point for me. It's one of the things that I am really grateful for, like my 3D software, because it renders everything for me. I am much better at like compositing together textures to get something that looks nice and believable than I am at making things from scratch. But hey, we all gotta start somewhere. Me, tonight, I'm starting on a mighty pirate. So I actually came to the Monkey Island game late. Figuratively and literally. My first introduction to Monkey Island was Monkey Island 4, which is usually a very embarrassing admission for Monkey Island fans, and I will definitely say it is a weak point in the series. But one thing it did do is get me interested enough to go back and play the Ron Gilbert originals. And I never got through Tales from Monkey Island. Never happened. I know Telltale Games sort of did their best to catch the vibe, but I don't think that they succeeded. It's weird. I feel like it's a bit like catching lightning in a bottle. Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 were good. And I think there's definitely a part of me that gets worried hyping up something because I don't want to set my expectations so high that, you know, even Ron Gilbert and his team couldn't deliver for what I have in my head. But I don't really actually have all that much in my head. I don't know. Um, this is one of those weird things where, like, I'll play some of those Monkey Island games, some of the later ones, and I'll be like, I don't know what I want from Monkey Island, but it's not this. You know? I just know it's not what I'm getting. But hopefully that will change with the new one. Especially because I really enjoyed Ron Gilbert's last game, Thimbleweed Park, which I also highly recommend. I really enjoyed the writing in that. I got to have a lovely chat with one of the writers who did some writing for Ransom the Clown, who is an insult comic and playable character in the game. And he's a generally all-around horrible person. I think this sword is getting larger every time I draw it, and I don't even care. Ooh, I should have had a snack before coming on. I am hungry tonight. Anybody else out there hungry? You are hungry. You have not eaten. You should do that thing. I'm gonna keep drawing. I will be here when you get back. Because the thing is, I do this and I make this commitment. This is a 2-hour stream, and barring an emergency, which I'm not having, personally, the stream will be done. And I like to do it. I like to do the stream. I like it when you guys show up and watch me draw things. I like having somebody on the stream with me when it's possible. And when it's not, well, we get by. Oh man, I was just looking at like a tutorial on how to do this. Create sort of like a C shape here. And then the fingers come out like that. Well, that just looks weird. That doesn't look like it. That looks wrong. Okay, let me think about this. Let me think about how hands work. So this is actually correct. When you've got your thumb in the middle, that's gonna go like that. And you're honestly not gonna get much of a view of your other fingers. Let's draw a face. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna draw a face. That might be a little too close. Drawing it 100% is good. Let me get a little look at a Guybrush face. There's a few of these. One of them is the official that I'm looking at. One of them is the official box art for The Secret of Monkey Island. The thing is, Guybrush is always kind of wide-eyed. Got very small pupils in this one. Going with a much more cartoonish look. That's right, Guybrush. Gotta save Elaine from the ghost pirate LeChuck. I'm guessing this line is supposed to be his beard line? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good Guybrush. Fun fact, the name Guybrush refers to the tool they used to make the first Monkey Island game. They didn't have a name for their playable character. They just had the brush that they would use whenever they needed to put character in there, their Guybrush. I forgot that neckline again. Let's give them a good. All right. Still a bit rough. Could add big pocket here. In fact, I want to sketch out something in his hand. We're going to make you holding something. One of the classic Monkey Island items. The rubber chicken with the pulley in the middle. Why is he holding it here? Who knows? You know what else we could do is include Guybrush's good friend here. Whoop. Murray, the talking demonic skull. We'll stick with that for now. Come in and clean it up later. Now we'll go in and add more cleaning up lines. Oh, I know it's not the most exciting stream tonight, but I do appreciate you being with me. I don't know why I'm starting with this rubber chicken. The nice thing about the rubber chicken is it's coming out nice and goofy looking. Just what you want from a rubber chicken with the pulley in the middle. If you gotta ask why the rubber chicken has a pulley in the middle. Let's just say it had to be there. I like to think this Guybrush is halfway between Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge. He's got some of that old outfit that he hasn't replaced yet. Of course, if he is in between, then he wouldn't have Murray, since Murray, the talking demonic skull, didn't show up until Monkey Island 2, I think. But I think Murray could forgive us some inaccuracy to include him. I think he'd want to be included. Trying to give things a little bit more of an angular vibe to them where I can. On Guybrush, at least. I'm hoping that will help me capture some of that Monkey Island feel. So I'm not sure if the design that was used in the trailer for the teaser for the new Monkey Island is going to be what the game looks like. I'm excited for it regardless. I would play it if it was just pixel art like Thimbleweed Park. I'm very curious about it as a stylistic choice. Because it does remind me a little bit more of the remaster. Those were really good. we're looking good. Doing pretty well for where I'm at time-wise. Got plenty of time, plenty of time. Hey, hello. Welcome back if you're coming back. Welcome if you're coming in for the first time. Just doing a little Guybrush Threepwood art. Maybe today he's caught off guard by the second biggest monkey head he's ever seen. Mm. It occurs to me one of the things that I definitely know that I had open on Pinterest before my blue screen of death was about fabric texture and how it folds. One point Guybrush definitely got his ear pierced. I know that. I know it. Deep in my heart of hearts. Okay, well, that's getting... We'll get right into Johnny Depp territory right there. Full on Jack Sparrow. We'll just give him eyeballs like this. No problem. It's not like I'm doing the fine line art right now or anything. No, no. Wouldn't want my line art to be of any quality. So I have this habit, and I'm wondering if other people do too. But like, I will find out about shows after they've been canceled, and I'll get really into them, and then find out they've been canceled, and that they never had a satisfactory ending. Does that happen to anybody else? It's kind of the worst. That happened to me. Hey, what's up? Good to see you, tired old soul. Glad you could make it. I guess now comes the question, did you read where I announced what I'd be drawing ahead of time, or do you recognize this character? Nope, I'm alone again. All right. It's making me wonder if there's something going on, maybe on my end. No, I can see my voice is going out. Okay. Say lovey. I'm not entertaining. I'm not entertaining. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I really like this eyebrow. So I'm gonna borrow it. Mm. I could live with that. It's kind of rugged for Guybrush, actually. But I don't mind that. Guybrush wouldn't. Guybrush would love looking more rugged. Ah, okay, that's what happened. I thought it was something I said. I draw like a dairy farmer. I draw like a dairy farmer. Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. Depending on the dairy farmer, they might actually have more experience drawing than I do. But I imagine they're probably pretty busy, you know, cow farming. which is something that I don't do. At least to my knowledge, I've never dairy farmed. Well, I remember, and this is Guybrush. Maybe he hasn't learned that insult yet. Who am I kidding? No idea if that's legible. But yes. Is it the first one you learn? It's been so long since I've played, and I don't have access to my copy of um, the special editions anymore, so I can't just go back and play them when I want. If I could, though, I would in preparation for the new one. Oh yes, the original creator of Monkey Island, Ron Gilbert, is making a new Monkey Island game, Return to Monkey Island. Should be coming out this year, and I am super excited. Which is why we're drawing Guybrush Threepwood tonight. Didn't just get a wild hair up my ass. Came from somewhere. Grog boxes. I don't think even Ron Gilbert is that cynical. I did that so that it would help me, and I think that just made it worse. It did make it worse. But at least it looks pretty okay like that, so that's not bad. But yeah, I linked the trailer for the new Monkey Island game in the Discord chat. It is in the video games channel. Additional good news, we get to play Star Wars this weekend. For what seems like the first weekend in a long, long time. Gosh, it looks like buttons is most of what I'm missing now. Return to Monkey Island, the new Souls-like Metroidvania roguelike bullet hell with the second biggest monkey head you've ever seen. Well, that would certainly be trying to cash in, but I don't think that's Ronnie's style. I'm just hoping it'll be, you know, in the same vein as Thimbleweed Park. Which, if you haven't played Thimbleweed Park, I will say again, go play Thimbleweed Park. It is amazing. We can dream, we can dream. It is a little bit quieter in here with just one host because I'm focusing on drawing. And I don't have as much to react to, so I apologize if there's excessive silence. I have not heard back from Beef since just after the stream started. So I'm guessing he is still taking care of his business. I think that's it. I think we've got Guybrush Threepwood. I got this scar on my face in a mighty struggle. Have you stopped wearing diapers yet? Yes, that is the correct answer. Although instead of some, it's just one. Why? Did you want to borrow one? Uh, this is also a response to the Swordmaster's insult of, I hope you've got an escape dinghy ready. Why did you want to borrow one? My enemies fall at my feet when they see me coming. Even before they smell your breath? Oh man, what are some other good ones? There's one about apes and attending a family reunion. Because I've known apes that are smarter than you. Glad to hear you've attended your family reunion. Wait, that's... I want that to be the inside of the coat color. Actually, wait, that is the right color for that. Derp, derp, derp. If I wouldn't get copyright striked, I would be playing Monkey Island OST in the background while I did this. But I do not have the rights. Not like I earn any money off of this anyway. But I guess I could do someday. Ah! Oh, your hemorrhoids are flaring up again, eh? In response to, I'll not take this sitting down. Sort of a red brown. For this color. I'm selling these fine leather jackets. Mighty pirate, you look more like a flooring inspector. So who was the best supporting character, in your opinion, in the Monkey Island games? There's all kinds of good ones like Stan or Elaine. Murray, the talking demonic skull. Carla, the swordmaster. No wrong answers. Maybe you like the amazing flying fettuccine brothers. Maybe. I mean, if you do, you're wrong. But maybe you do. Murray is funny. Murray is a good choice. I'm not sure who I would pick. Quite like Murray, I also quite like the cannibals that eventually become vegetarians. Herman is always a good option. The original pirate to discover Monkey Island. Then he got trapped there. Herman Toothrot, I think was his name. Of course, in my opinion, you really can't go wrong with Elaine either. Ghost Pirate LeChuck? That's better. A little bit of that Caribbean sun bleach. Needed to borrow color from reference. Get a good skin tone on this lad. I would think this would be the easiest part, just coloring. But I often regard it as one of the parts that I am worst at. Because, like, I can get basic color. So you say, oh yeah, alright. I can see that. But I can't ever get it looking good. So one of these days, that's something I'm going to dedicate more time to. Just rendering. What? That'll make things a little bit easier. Probably should go back and look at the face again, actually. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. Not good, but not as bad as I thought. Ooh. Sometimes what you need is contrast. What about LeChuck? Which LeChuck? Ghost Pirate LeChuck? Chester Shinetop? No, Fester Shinetop. That's why. Brain isn't working. Are we talking the Demon Pirate LeChuck? The Zombie Pirate LeChuck? The Zombie Demon Pirate LeChuck? I don't remember which one he was in which game at this point. He was a zombie in 2. He was also Fester Shine Top. Spoilers for a game that's very, very, very old. The LeChuck robot. There was a LeChuck robot in 3? I remember there being a robot in 4, and that's where you use the Ultimate Monkey Combat. I missed that hand. Yes, 4 was a silly game. And I maintain it has the weakest design out of all of them. Guybrush looks younger and less piratey than ever, which, like, kind of the joke is that he doesn't look very piratey at all ever, even when he's trying. But at the same time, when you've been at it for 4 games, you expect some kind of headway, and like he'd already made some headway in looking piratey by game number 2. So the regression just didn't work for me. I don't know. There is a rumor that the new game will be picking up after Monkey Island 2. Since Monkey Island 2 is the last one that Ron Gilbert was involved with. So we might actually get to learn the secret of Big Whoop. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, who wouldn't want to know the secret of Big Whoop? What was the name of Guybrush's ship? Can't remember. I guess he had different ships in different games, but I'm thinking of the one in Secret of Monkey Island. The one he takes to Monkey Island. With his crew of 3. I should probably speed up the render because it looks like I've only got about 15 minutes left until the end of the stream. I will do my best. Basic colors, it doesn't look like there's too much left to do. So I've been watching that Halo TV show, and I'm not sure what to make of it. It seems like a pretty good high quality production show, but also what is going on in that show? I do not know. Is it tied into the video games? I do not know. There are Spartans, and one of them is Master Chief, and his name is John. Because I guess he needed to be generic. So his name is John. Which is definitely a choice. And then there's like some kind of human rebellion going on, which I thought was just like a thing in Red versus Blue to be a joke. Oh, Master Chief's name has always been John? I did not know that. I don't know anything about Halo lore except that he goes to a ring world at one point, and it looks like that's what he's going to do in the show, and he just got like this keystone, which is going to grant him access. So we'll see how that goes. Guybrush has got very blue eyes. I think, other than the blade and the text box, I suppose. We are approaching done, and not a moment too soon. And there it is. One Guybrush Threepwood. Mighty Pirate. Woo! The movie Forward Unto Dawn talks about humanity fighting itself, and then the Covenant show up. I mean, I guess that at least sounds consistent with humanity in real life. Good enough for government work. Okay. We'll call that a win. It's got no shading. It's totally flat, but it looks good. It looks like Guybrush to me. I would definitely say that's Guybrush holding a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. That's probably pretty pretty close to Guybrush. Get some filigree on those things. All right. Well, that's bringing us to the end of the stream. We still got a few minutes left. I think we just want to stretch that out a bit. Like that. Which occurs to me, you couldn't see what I was stretching, but it was the shadow under his feet. And there is the finished product. So with that, I will transition back to our meme of the day, which is I got it from our D&D memes on Reddit. Definitely for those people who tend to be a little less binary, who are enjoying playing characters of multiple genders and gender presentations. That's it for our stream today. Sorry Beef couldn't be here, but I did have a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed our stream tonight, and we will be back next week. You can find me on Twitter at RadmusFliss, and I will be around. Have a great night.